there's always going to be a need for a human in the loop and someone to exercise that judgment that AI just can't do. Well, you may have an anomaly that is important to you that the AI doesn't recognize as that anomaly, and you miss an entire opportunity because the AI didn't catch it. So you still need a person in there that says, oh, wait, this shouldn't be in a junk folder. We really need to talk to this person. This is about our 6-figure contract. Like, if you are not using AI today, you are so far behind the 8 ball, and your competitors are going to swallow you up alive. You have got to get on the AI bandwagon. So hire well by hiring someone who is AI proficient so that they can leverage and be the most productive for you as a business owner.
My guest today runs that exact business, whose companies are trying to kill. She thinks they've got it backwards. Renee Hastings has spent 20 years in C-suite before she bet on herself and built Executive Help Now from the ground up. No pitch deck, no venture money, just a phone and a thesis. Today, her team runs operations for founders, private equity firms, and family offices. But here's what makes this an AI show. Everyone out here is racing to automate the assistant out of the existence. Renee's building the execution layer that runs on top of the AI. Her line is, whatever AI you've got today, it's the worst it's ever going to be. So the real question was never whether it replaces people. It's who's going to be holding the controls. If you run something and you're drowning in follow-up, this one's for you. And if your job is the one getting reshaped right now, the assistant, the coordinator, the ops person watching these tools show up in your lane, this is really for you. She doesn't usually get asked the hard version of this. Today she does. Renee, welcome to the show.
Hi, Cody. Thank you so much for having me.
So before we get anywhere, I do have to ask all of my guests this one question. What is a truth in your industry that people do not want to admit?
I think a truth in my industry that people don't want to admit is that AI is going to replace humans. I think that a lot of people believe that it will. And on some levels, it might replace some things, but it won't replace people. There's always going to be a need for a human in the loop and someone to exercise that judgment that AI just can't do.
Fair enough. I think we're on the same page as this, especially being I'm a software engineer by trade. I use AI daily. I know it's quite stupid, which is a controversial take for most people, but I do agree with you that it's not going to replace people. It's just going to give people higher level executive function.
100%.
So can you kind of drive into the audience? What exactly does AI replace currently?
So AI can replace tasks and workflows and just different things like that, which is great because, I'm all for that. Because when it does that, it makes our lives easier. We can do more in less time. So we absolutely need to leverage AI to help us to be more productive. But when it does those workflows or those repetitive tasks that we do frequently, there still is a need, though, for a human to hop in and make sure that those repetitive tasks are the right repetitive tasks. So maybe, for an example, maybe you have an AI agent set up to check your email, and it will filter through and find the important things for you. Well, you may have an anomaly that is important to you that the AI doesn't recognize as that anomaly, and you miss an entire opportunity because the AI didn't catch it. So you still need a person in there that says, oh, wait, this shouldn't be in a junk folder. We really need to talk to this person. This is about our 6-figure contract.
If you were to bet right now what job AI doesn't take away from regular people, what would it be?
So probably the data entry operator. If someone's job is just strictly to key in information into something, or even maybe update a CRM or something like that with updated information, an AI can easily do that. You scan in the contact information and it'll put all the different pieces where they belong. So that job may not be as valuable as it once was, because AI can now do that for you. But again, AI is not perfect. It can sometimes be stupid and it misspells things, especially names. So you definitely have to double check. You just can't leave it all to the AI and just trust every single thing that it's doing.
Fair enough. And especially when it comes to English, being a Canadian, we have different spelling for many words, and AI tends to like the American spelling of things. People
100%.
get caught up a lot on that.
That's right. That's right.
um, so I want to ask you about what your company has automated away so far.
So I wouldn't say we've automated away a whole lot, because I still feel that the value that the humans bring, especially in our, we have another company called Live Stream Editors. It's a podcast production company. And there is a lot of contact with actual people that we want to bring onto our platforms. And we want to make sure that they're the right fit and that they, will make for a great show. I actually like the human engagement in that, so that my person can really say to me, this is a real person. They really do show up well and they would make a great guest for your show or for our client shows, and that sort of thing. So I can't even say that we've allowed AI to hire things away at this point.
So I do that currently myself. Like I vet everybody because I again don't trust AI for anything. The relationships between humans are really pivotal. And this is why I do the thing. I prefer to have a conversation with a real human as opposed to automating that away. Do you see a time in the future where these tools have gotten better, where we start having less human interaction?
Um, I think yes. I mean, because what we have, as you mentioned in our intro, I believe the AI that we see today is the worst it's ever going to be. It's only going to get better and better and better from here. So it is reasonably possible to think that AI could take over a whole lot. But as long as relationships are involved in business, you're going to need a human, because there's so much that takes place in the nurturing of a potential new client or in the management of current clients. It's hard for AI to detect when your client is ticked off and you need to deal with something, right?
Sure.
So you have to have those humans there to kind of manage that risk, to your company.
So how important is it that people start using AI today?
It's everything. Like at people, like if you are not using AI today, you are so far behind the eight ball, and then your competitors are going to swallow you up alive. You have got to get on the AI bandwagon. You can't stick your head in the sand like it doesn't exist, because it does, and it is here to stay. And you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable and just let it do its thing. Don't let it control you or consume you, but definitely learn how to leverage it. And if you personally don't want to learn how to leverage it, get people around you who do and who love it and who are really good at it, because it's going to be the make or break between your business growth and death.
And can you walk the audience through what a onboarding with executive help now would look like?
Yeah, so it's a super simple process. We have a discovery call to find out what your current needs are, where things are kind of slipping, where there's a bottleneck that needs to be streamlined. And we set up a meet and greet with the person who matches the skills and capacity and availability that you need to fix that problem. And then they just get started. You start training them on what it is that took place in our discovery call, and then they end up determining what the best route is along with you to execute on what it will take for your processes to be more streamlined and efficient.
Speaking as an owner myself, I like to do things a lot myself. How do you get owners and CEOs and founders to let go of the reins a little bit?
Well, I love this question because, Cody, a lot of times when they come to us, they're pretty much at their wits' end and they're sick and tired of being tired. My experience when I got my first assistant was because I was working my business along with my full-time corporate day job. And when you're working an 8 hour day, you're coming home trying to be a wife and cook a meal and spend some time with your husband. Uh, and then you start on your business at 7 or 8 at night and not get to bed till 2 or 3 in the morning and take a nap so you can get up at 6 to be back at work at 8 again. You're burning the candle at both ends, and it is not healthy. It is not sustainable. And the quality of your work is going to suffer in both places, at corporate and in your business, and you're going to burn out. So you need to figure out how to bring on that assistant. And so when clients come to us, they pretty much are at that place, same place where I was, where I said, I have to bring on somebody. I can't keep doing this all myself. And I then discovered, though, in this whole process, that I may have some power and control issues that I didn't realize I had. But I definitely knew that I had to make a change in order for things to be different in my personal life, in my health, and if the business was going to scale. Sometimes it takes therapy, no judgment here, to get to the root cause of what it is that's keeping you holding on. But then you just do it afraid. You just do it afraid and keep on doing it as they earn more trust because they keep doing things well and supporting you and meeting all of your needs. That trust will continue to grow. And as that trust grows, it'll be easier and easier for you to let go of more things.
Do you trust it? Most of the guests that come on this show came from the same place. Not cold outreach, not DMs, not begging people to come talk to me. And that's only grown truer as this channel has grown. I've been using Podmatch since I started podcasting. Not a recent partnership, not a one-off sponsor read. This platform has been finding my guests the entire time I've been building the show. And here's what it actually does. You tell it who you are, what your show needs. It matches you with guests that actually fit based on your topic, your audience, and what they bring to the table. No cold pitching. No chasing people who never respond. And the guest always wants to be there. I've talked directly with the CEO about why he built it this way, what he wants it to solve, the whole thing. That's not something you get from most platforms. This one's actually run by somebody who cares whether it works for the people using it. The guests I've gotten through Podmatch didn't just fill an episode. They shaped how I interview, how I think, how this show sounds versus when I started. That's the difference between a booking tool and a platform that actually makes you better at this. If you're podcasting and still doing guest outreach the hard way, stop. Go check out Podmatch. The link is below. AI?
For the most part, I guess. I often have to question it, especially when I put in a prompt, and then it brings me back something that is obvious that it doesn't make sense. And I was like, wait, are you sure? That's my next prompt. Are you sure? And then they're like, oh, wait, you're right to check that because, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Look, so I trust it on some levels, but I trust but verify.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. We're going into a world where it's really, trust is going to be hard to find, even among humans. And I know for a fact, I don't trust my AIs. I have them argue each other out. Because I want the truth. I don't care to sugarcoat it. Like if you're telling me I'm wrong, then tell me I'm wrong. And I'm okay that way.
Right. Do humans hold on to the old world view that trust is default?
Yeah. So to give you a little bit of context, I grew up like with my grandfather and his generation where it was like a firm handshake and you do the deal based off of the words out of your mouth. There was no contracts, nothing like that. Do we still operate on that functionality?
Absolutely not. We live in a very litigious world, unfortunately, and people are ready to sue you so quick for the smallest thing. And so I would say, no, trust is, I wish it were that way. Where I'm from, in my little Amish community in Wisconsin, we still do deals with a handshake today, but everyone there is honest. People aren't honest outside of my little Amish community.
Fair enough. I want to ask you a little bit about that. Like, how did that experience drive what you're doing today?
So that was growing up in an Amish community in Wisconsin. And for those that are in listen only mode, I'm a Black woman. My whole family is Black. And we were the only Black family for miles and miles around. And my grandfather instilled in us the importance of having a very strong work ethic, being people of our word, being honest, dependable, reliable, and operating with a standard of excellence that was beyond reproach. Like nobody could say anything bad about our work because we did it with excellence. And that was just the norm for us because it was an expectation because we were representing the family. And that I believe molded everything in me and who I am as a person and my values and my now standard of excellence that I expect out of my team. That's is representing us. And so, yes, it absolutely framed how I think, how I believe, how I operate, what I do, what I present to the outside world, because it's a representation of not only my family, but now my business.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I came across something that says your assistants work off of complexity, not time. Why did you make that determination?
So it's capacity. Yeah, one of the things that when we're working with a client, it's more about making their lives better as opposed to checking a clock. And so we want there to be fluidity, we want there to be continuity, we want there to be structure, and we want to be available to them when they need us. So that to me is more important than saying, oh, you get 20 hours a month. And if you go to 21, oh, now we have to stop what we're doing. No, we got an important meeting coming up. We got to get ready. We got to prepare. We got to do all these things. So capacity, I believe, is a easier way for me to manage our team and our clients. And they tend to like it better that way.
This is a concept that like I've just learned, well, I've known about, but just learned about because working the way I have, I'm very good at doing my job quickly and with excellence. Excellence. Honestly, I don't think I'm good at my job. I just go and do it to the best of my abilities. And then my trade-off is if I did it wrong, I will redo it. I will do those things. I will iterate on it until it's correct.
But Cody, hold on. I don't want you to minimize your awesomeness, okay? Because if you are excellent at what you do, claim it and name it and own it.
Fair enough. I worked in government. I was a big fish in a small pond. That's kind of my framing to it. I knew what I was doing. I was the one people tend to go to get things done because I could get it done quickly and I could get it done efficiently. But I know that my skills in that area or in that lake or pond were a lot more than they are in the global ocean. So that's how I frame it. I'm good in certain regards. I'm try to do my best at my job, and I don't know. I dig myself under. And anyways, I think having a little bit of humility helps. But I know I have too much.
Right, because my husband is the same way. It's very hard for him to receive praise. I'm very much all about positive affirmations and praise, like, oh, great job, you did so good. I'm his biggest cheerleader. And it just makes him so uncomfortable.
I am very much.
It's very familiar to me, so I'm kind of razzing it a little bit.
Fair enough. What's something that you like to give to AI in your daily life?
This is going to sound so weird, but I give AI my dreams. I dream a lot. And I'm like, what is this? What does this mean? I don't believe everything it says, but I think this is very interesting what it comes back with. So, yeah.
I'd be very interested to see what your output for your agent would be. Like, so if you asked it like who you are as a person, this is something I try and get everybody to do. The more you give to the AI, the more likely it is to understand you. And asking it questions about yourself is one of the most powerful things you can do, especially in a world where we didn't have access to this before. I worry for the social media generation more than anything else.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I heard that AI is one of the most widely used tools now for self-care. Like people are using it for therapy sessions. And um, it'll encourage them, it'll tell them these great things about them, tell them what they might need to work on and how they're there for, the AI is there for them if they have any other questions. And they get comfort from this AI because it's giving them real solutions to help them get to the next day. Sometimes it just maybe through the next hour, depending on how bad off they are. But I just thought that was so fascinating that it has that capacity to know and understand and take behavior and take the symptoms that you put into it and be able to process it into something that could actually be beneficial for you to help you navigate until you can get to a human.
My take on it is it removes the shame of asking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've been a society that has kind of shamed people for asking questions and for seeming to come off intellectually. I think this is very beneficial to those who just really want to understand and are willing to ask the questions without bias, without like anything on the other side. It's just a machine, so you're going to get honest truth for the most part.
Right, exactly. And because of all the prompts that you've already put in it before, it is already getting to know you. And now it's joining all of that information you've shared with it, along with all of these other bits of information through this large language model to come up with a solution that could actually be a good solution for you. So yeah, it's interesting, all the different things that we can put into it and what we get back out of it.
What's your hope for AI in the future?
If you're a podcaster or a video creator, this is the all-in-one AI video editor you've been looking for. I've been using Async since day one, and it's amazing to watch it progress into a complete powerhouse for creators. Especially for people like me who, well, can't edit for shit. Async leverages AI to give you total control over your video. You can record, edit, generate clips, add subtitles, and even dub your content in over 15 languages. Plus, it lets you upscale your footage and easily repurpose your content for different platforms, all without ever having to switch between different tools. It's truly a game changer. So if you want to streamline your workflow and make your editing process painless, check out async.com today. The link is in the description below.
My hope for AI in the future is that it will be something that we can trust, and that it will be kept out of the hands of people who want to do evil, and only be allowed to people who want to do good.
I can't say that that's going to happen. I have a take where I'm pretty sure we're going to have an era of superheroes and supervillains. Purely because of human creativity and imagination, being able to build anything and do anything based off of the information we have. Bioengineering, robotics, this is all going to scale massively in the next few years. And it leads a lot to people doing their own thing. And I worry that.
Yeah, same.
So I kind of ran out of questions. I just want to leave the last few minutes to give your insight to the audience, anything you'd like to leave them off on, and who you are and where they can find you.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for this opportunity to be a part of the show. This was so great I love talking about AI and the changes that it's made in our lives. I'm also probably from that same school as your grandpa, where we used to make a deal with a handshake. Well, what you can still do in my community. But it's as AI is evolving, hopefully it will become something that we can trust and will be able to leverage with a human. You can't replace a human's judgment, their ability to anticipate, their need to nurture, their ability to nurture your clients or your team members and things like that. So hire well by hiring someone who is AI proficient so that they can leverage and be the most productive for you as a business owner. I can be reached at executivehelpnow.org is our website. My email is Renee at executivehelpnow.org. And I welcome and answer all of my emails myself. AI does not answer for me. So feel free to reach out. I'm happy to continue the conversation.
Thank you very much. And just to echo onto that statement, I don't use AI. Like AI does nothing for me. I take the output and I put it where I need it and then modify it depending. Still a little hesitant on hooking it into things where it just goes and does it on its own.
Yeah. And you know what? I had my very first AI initiated meeting. Like, what's today? Tuesday, yesterday. And it was coordinating calendars, and it said, you could tell it was a complete AI agent. And it says, I'm reaching out on behalf of this person. They thought you might be a good fit for this because you do this and they do that. And would you be interested in meeting? And I was like, I said yes, just because I wanted to see what it would do. And then, of course, after he introduced the person, I went and did my own research on them. I'm like, this could be a pretty interesting conversation. The AI was coordinating schedules, and it said, if you link your calendar, then I won't have to keep coming back to you with more options for meeting date. And I was like, no, thanks. But I actually had one of the best meetings I ever had with this person I never would have met were it not for this AI bot finding me. So, and connecting us. So I'm just saying, one day we may all get there. We still have very good reason to be a bit cautious.
Mine is just owning your own data type of thing. Like I like to have everything kind of air gapped between that and AI right now until we figure out local models a little bit better.
Yeah, yeah. And accessibility, confidentiality, all of those things matter. Yeah, 100%.
So I will make sure everything is down in the comments or the details down below. Please reach out if you need anything. We're always here. Please like, comment, subscribe, all the bullshit I'm supposed to say. And to everybody out there, thank you for listening and stay weird. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Cody. I appreciate you. And thank you for the extra time for us to be able to get through a whole show.
Oh, I appreciate it. Some people have to go right away. So like I try to give everybody as much time. I thankfully don't really have, I can work on my own time, so I don't have to worry about it. So, but thank you very much. From here, what I do is it'll be a week or two before this gets released. But what I'll do is I'll package it up, let you know what dates it's going on, and then I'll send you a package because I do this collaboratively. You'll get everything I have, and you can use it at your discretion.
Awesome. Sounds good. And now, do you also do guest appearances on other people's shows?
Yep.
And how would we get you as a guest on like one of my client shows? I think you'd be perfect for her show.
Just send me an email. I'll send you my schedule and we can go from there.
Okay, sounds great. I'll have Fritzy do that.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you. All righty. Talk to you
Take
later.
care. Bye.
Bye.